esteemed panelists on the chair and on the dais, and the audience, the participants who are off the dais. At the outset, I want to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to chair this session, which is on gender equity, access and participation in the digital ecosystem. First of all, when I saw this auditorium, I thought, before we go to digital ecosystem, the first ecosystem I will talk, that is where 3 women are there, and because it is gender, perhaps people do not have interest, they think they have their stereotypes, stock knowledge on it, and therefore the auditorium seems little vacant. Had it been something else, I think it would have attracted more and more people to this meeting. And digital ecosystem, if we talk about it, the topic is very timely and it is very befitting for a discussion in a forum like this, because when we talk about gender equity and digital ecosystem, I will say both are variables, and the 2 parameters that have been just ingrained into the entire theme, they are access and participation. So I will say digitalization, no one can deny that we are in a digital world. Obviously, we are into it. The world is getting digitalized. And this digitalization process, I will say, it is the second industrial revolution, I always say, because the first shift, the technology-driven shift, came to the human civilization with the industrial revolution. Because industrial revolution brought so many ramifications for the society, and the same thing we find with the process of digitalization today. So it is the second, it is till date, this is the climax of technological innovation. The second thing I will tell about gender equity, and when we talk about gender equity, what happens? Why the topic is not gender equality but gender equity? Because perhaps I think the organizers have taken into consideration the concept of intersectionality. In intersectionality, the gender group cannot be said to be a homogeneous group. It is heterogeneous, it is riddled with riddles, because there are many castes, ethnicities, and they constitute the intersections within the same gender group. There is a gender disparity in digital use, as we know, because many of the organizations, starting from your national sample survey to your national All India Higher Education Survey, they talk about this disparity in the use of digital devices. And that brings, when we talk about digital ecosystem, it creates a space. Now the question arises, does it create the same space for a man and a woman? Because there is a gender discrepancy, and if we go to the third gender again, the question becomes more and more intense. And therefore, when we talk about the ecosystem should always guarantee what is called equality to all, because the space is the same for all. But this space, ecosystem, doesn't guarantee the same space to all. And therefore, the question arises whether, and if you look into the digital ecosystem requires certain preconditions. What are they? They are, first of all, your availability. Then second is accessibility, availability of, then accessibility to. Then the third one is literacy about the system itself. The fourth one is the skill for using these particular devices and the system. And the fifth one is the attitude. and all these are missing, and it is not equal for the gender. And therefore, the question of gender equity and digital in the ecospace comes. And when we talk about all these things, I am reminded of two perspectives. One is the second wave of feminism, which say that the technology will be a driver of opportunity. It will bring new opportunities for the women and for all gender group. It will be leading to more and more gender equality. But when the post-colonial feminism came, there was a book, Under the Western Eyes, by Chandra Talpada Mahanti in 1986, where she mentioned that no, because when we talk about technology, technology has a displacing effect. It actually snatches away the opportunities for the women. And when I said digitalization is the second wave of industrialization, the same thing happened when Industrial Revolution came in the West. And today, digitalization, 90% of your employment involves some digital component where the women are not actually competent to use it. And therefore, the women are getting alienated from the employment market. So how to get equality? So first thing is that in order to have the greater goal of gender equality, which is one among the sustainable development goals, we need to have gender equity, and gender equity through in the digital ecospace. And if we have gender equity in the digital ecospace, we can achieve gender equality. And from that perspective, so let us not make gender equity only an objective or a goal, but let us make an equality. I am sure that our learned and erudite scholars in the panel, they will be discussing a lot more about it, and two more scholars are going to join us, resource persons online, and we will listen to them. And for my co-panelists, I will be telling, Madam, the time limit is 12 minutes for each, after which we will open the forum for 10 minutes. And we can go ahead with some questions, and we will wind up the session by 11:15 sharp. Thank you. Thank you.